Hello, good morning to all.
Good morning, sir.
Good
Good morning,
morning to
sir.
all of.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, today is good morning, good afternoon. It's 1 p.m. So all of you ready for the lecture? Yes. So today we start the now new chapter, unit number 5, AC fundamentals. Uh, Still now we have studied the chapter which is mostly related to the DC, okay, direct current. Now start the chapter unit 5 AC fundamentals. As you know, the full form of AC is alternating current. Okay, so you can see here in this slide also the waveform of this alternating current, alternating waveforms, and is changing with respect to time. Okay, so let's start this chapter. So first you see what is the content of this chapter. We first see the why we use the AC system, then some definition related to the AC terms, then relationship between speed frequency, average and RMS value, sinusoidal wave shapes, and the related examples. Clear? So first in introduction, as we know that at our homes we use the AC system, okay, alternating current system. So at our homes, office or shop or any industries, we generally prefer to use the AC supply. Okay. So what is the reason behind this? Why we use the AC? Why not DC? Can anyone give me the answer? Why you generally prefer to use the AC system? Why
Sir,
not
because
DC?
transporting AC current is possible with lesser amount of resistance as compared to DC.
Okay. Another one. Another one can give me the answer. Why we generally prefer to use the AC instead of DC? See, some of the application we require DC also. Okay, like in a most of the electronic circuit, like in our mobile charger, we use the DC. Here, we provide
Sir,
the
AC
supply.
has,
Yes, yes,
so
yes.
it's more efficient and less power loss than DC.
How you can say that? Less power loss or more efficient as compared to DC? Can you justify this sentence?
Sir, in DC power loss increases in term because the resistance increases. So
How
power loss as
resistant?
heat. Sir,
So, how?
sir,
So this
AC is a surface current, so it will travel on the surface, whereas DC travels through the wire.
AC not travel through the wire. AC
Sir,
cannot be
it
flow through the
travels on
wire.
the surface of the wire. It travels on the surface of the wire.
How you can say that it's travel on the surface of the wire? AC can be flow in this in whole area of the wire. It does not say that it is only flowing into the surface of the wire. No, it is not true. See, I square losses happen in both the cases. Clear? If any material has a resistance, then I square losses happens. See, I square loss is not only depend upon resistance. See the equation of loss, I square R. It depends also current also. If your current is more, then I square loss is more. Clear? So once your material size is fixed, as you know that the value of resistance is fixed. Clear? But apart from that, the loss depends upon the amount of current. If your current is high, then loss will be high. Clear? So that reason you cannot say that losses happens, more loss happens than DC as compared to AC. Clear? Yes, anyone want to give the answer?
Sir, it is
Why?
easy to step up and step down the voltages with AC,
Yes, yes, yes. Very good, very good.
but
So
it is
first,
not needed with DC.
yes, very good. So one of the main reason to use generally AC is that we can step up and step down the voltage where it is not possible in a DC. Yeah, by using the transformer, as you know that we can step up and step down the voltage so that we can increase or decrease the current level. See, by using the transformer, we cannot change the power. We change the magnitude of the voltage. Here, suppose if you want to transmit the power at high voltage, so you can use the step-up transformer. Suppose at the primary side of the transformer, your voltage is 230 watt, and if you want to transfer the power at 460 watt, so by using the step-up transformer, you can increase the voltage. But at the same time, what will happen? The value of current will decreases because power is remains constant. P is equal to V into I. So as the secondary side in the transformer, if you increase the voltage by using the step-up transformer, what will happen? Your current will automatically reduces because power is remains same. So what will happen? Your I square R loss will be reduces because I square R loss is depend upon two parameters. One is resistance and one is current. Your resistance is fixed once you decide the material and size of the material or conductor. So second factor that decide the loss of power is amount of current flowing into the conductor. So if you reduce the amount of current, then automatically loss will be reduces. So this is the biggest advantage that of using the AC. So as you know that at our home we get the AC supply. We have 230 watt AC supply, but actually it is generated at 11 kV watt, 11,000 watt. Here after that it is step up by the step up transformer, and then it is transmitted for a long distance. So why it is step up? Because if they increase the voltage, so automatically the value of current will decreases. So when your power is transmitted through this conductor, the amount of current flowing into this conductor is less as compared to the low voltage power. Yeah. So I square R loss will reduces if you transmit the power at high voltages. And after that, in the distribution system, it is step down. It means again it is converted to the low voltage from high voltage to low voltage by using a step down transformer. And again at your home, has reach at the 230 voltage level. Clear? So whenever you require to transmit the power, AC power over a long distance, you transmit it for a high voltage because the reason is that you want to reduce the loss of power. Clear? So that is only possible by using the transformer. But it is not possible in case of the DC system because there is no DC transformer is available. Okay, because transformer, that principle is based on the electromagnetic induction. Yeah, Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction. So how they transfer the power from primary to secondary? So that is because of rate of change of flux. But as you know that in the DC your current is constant, so there is no rate of change of flux is created. So there is no transfer of power from primary to secondary side in case of the DC. So the DC transformer is not possible. So this is one of the reasons that generally prefer the AC system. Okay, any other reason? Can you give this? Why we generally prefer the AC as compared to DC? That is not only one reason. There are another reason also. Because of that, we generally prefer to use the AC. Anyone want to give the answer? Any other reason? We use the AC quantities?
AC travels longer distances than DC.
No, it is not proper answer. So DC also can travel over a long distance. Clear? If I am give the detailed answer that, as I have told you that over a long distance, you use the AC for the high voltage. You transmit the power at high voltage. But again, there is a limitation of the AC also in terms of the distance. This AC become economical up to a certain distance. If I am talking about the exactly technical distance, so that is a 500 to 600 kilometer. Up to that distance, the transmission of the AC power at high voltage that becomes economical. But more than that, more than 600 kilometer, if you want to transfer the AC power, then it becomes uneconomical. The reason is that because of the cost of the AC equipments. So more than 600 kilometer, if you want to transmit the power, at that time, generally we prefer to use the DC. That is called as the high voltage DC. Yeah. Nowadays, it is become very popular to transmit the power at a longer distance by using the high voltage DC transmission line. So nowadays in India, more and more HVDC transmission line is also built. But that is generally prefer only and only when your generation station and load center is very far away from each other, like more than 600 kilometer. Otherwise, you can prefer the AC system. Clear? As you know that most of the generators are within the 500 kilometer range in the load center. Clear? So generally we not prefer to use the DC, but in some of the cases or in some of the areas or in some of the countries where generating stations are more than 500 or 600 kilometers away from the load centers. Clear? So in that case we can prefer the high voltage DC or we use the DC system. Clear? But in most of the cases, as we can say that we generally prefer AC because of the advantage that we can increase or decrease the voltage by using the transformer. Clear? So let's start this chapter. So as we know that there are three types of the waveforms. One, we also know that direct current, which is remain constant with respect to time. Another is a fluctuating current. So fluctuating current is what? The value of current that is changes with respect to time. Yeah. And third waveform that is called as a alternating current. Third current is alternating current or AC current. So alternating current is also changing with respect to time, but the time interval in which it is changes, that is fixed. Clear? Fluctuating current and alternating current, both current are changing with respect to time, but in the fluctuating current the changing of the value of current is not fixed in terms of time period, where in the alternating current you get the two polarity of the waveform. One is positive as well as negative waveforms. Let's see the by using the waveforms you can understand it. So as you know that direct current that is always flowing unidirectional in one direction in the circuit, so that's why we call it as a direct current. So as magnitude is remain constant with respect to time and flow is continuous in a one direction. So you can see this is a waveform of direct current. Where if you saw the fluctuating current, so you can see that.
Go back to the last slide?
Yes. Is there any
Okay,
doubt? Okay.
No, sir.
So fluctuating current, you can see that is in a one direction, but the magnitude of the current is changing with respect to time. Clear? But the alternating current, the current which changes its direction and magnitude at a periodical regular interval of time, so that is called as the alternating current. Clear? So alternating current may be a different types. There are different wave shapes. So alternating current may be a square wave type. So you can see that first diagram here, square wave type alternating current. Alternating current means the magnitude and direction is changing with respect to time. Here, so here in the square wave also you can see that magnitude is first is positive, after some time it becomes negative, then after become positive and negative. Clear? So this is also called as the alternating current. Second is this triangular wave, that is also called as a alternating current. You can see that that's magnitude and direction is also changing with respect to time. And third one is that is a rectangular wave. That is also called as the alternating current. And fourth one is sine wave. Clear? But generally alternating current we called sine wave. Clear? Alternating current name that becomes synonym for the sine wave. The reason is that in the most of the AC system we use the sine wave. Clear? Not this three waveform, square, triangular or rectangular. So whenever you say in the book alternating current, you assume that it is a sine wave. Clear? Because in the electrical system the alternating current means that we are using the sine wave. Okay. Now what are the advantage of AC over the DC system? Clear? So as I told you by one of the students that alternating voltage or current can be increased or decreased by means of the transformer without any appreciable loss of energy, whereas the direct current that vary by the resistance alone, resulting in the loss of energy due to the heating. Clear? So sorry, alternating voltage or current that can be increased or decreased by the transformer, and because of that we can reduce the losses in the AC system, where it is not possible in the case of the DC system, because resistance remain fixed, current is remain constant, so loss is remain fixed. Second reason is that in the AC, wide range of voltage and current is available with the help of transformer. As I told you that we can step up and step down the voltage in the AC system by using the transformer. So you have variety of range of voltage and current. As you increase the voltage, current will decrease. As you decrease the voltage, current will increase. So based on the transformation ratio, 1 jump 1, 1 jump 2, 1 jump 3, you can change the value of voltage at the secondary side as well as the current. So you have wide range of the voltage available. So for any voltage application, you can use the proper transformer to get the particular voltage. So that flexibility is not available in the DC system. And third one is the generation of the AC is very simple and cheaper as compared to the DC generator. Yeah. The DC generator, they produce the DC power, but the construction, and if you see in the economical point of view, the DC is more costlier than the DC generator is more costlier than the AC generator. So that is another advantage of using the AC over the DC. And fourth one is line losses in the AC power transmission is negligible compared to the DC power transmission. Why? Because as I already told you that AC power transmission is be done at a very high voltages. So when we transmit power at high voltage, what will happen? The current value is very small. So because of that, the I square R loss becomes very negligible as compared to the DC power transmission. So because of this fourth reason, we generally prefer the AC. Fifth reason is that AC can be easily converted into DC by the rectifier, where the conversion of DC to AC is also possible, but it is costlier as compared to the rectifier circuit. Yeah. So as you know that in our mobile charger, we use the DC power. Clear? But why we require the chargers? Because mobile charger require DC, but we provide the supply is 230 watt AC. Yeah. So in your mobile charger, we have one transformer which step down the voltage 230 to 12 volt, and then after convert this AC voltage into DC. Clear? So in most of the application we require, in some of the application we require DC also, but we get this DC directly by using the rectifier. And sixth reason is that AC motors are cheaper and simple in construction as compared to the DC motor. Sorry. So because of all these six reasons, we generally prefer to use the AC over the DC. All of you clear this? All the reason? Is there any doubt?
Yes.
Okay. Now next, what are the disadvantages? All the systems in the world, they have some advantage as well as disadvantage. Okay. So AC system also have some disadvantages. So can you tell me what are the disadvantage of AC system over DC? क्या disadvantage हो सके? AC over the DC? Yes, anyone?
So peak value of AC is high. It may be dangerous to work with AC. That may be a disadvantage.
It is dangerous to?
It is dangerous to work with AC.
Yes. Okay.
Because I0 equals to root 2 IRMS.
Okay.
So
but if the same magnitude of DC available, then what? If you say that peak magnitude of AC is high, okay. Suppose peak magnitude of AC is AC current. Suppose talking about the current, peak magnitude of the current is 20 ampere. Same amount of current, 20 ampere DC is available. Then again AC is more dangerous as compared to DC.
No, sir, not. But only in case of peak value.
Okay. Any other reason? Anyone? Yes. Okay. So yes, AC is dangerous, but When it is dangerous, when your insulation is becomes faulty. As you know that our home, the wire coming for all appliances that have an insulator, that not only conductor. The copper conductor is inside the insulator. Yeah. Surrounded the conductor we have insulator. So why this insulator is provided? To avoid the shock to the person. Clear? So AC is more dangerous when your insulation becomes faulty. When insulation is removed from the conductor, and if any person touch that wire, that becomes dangerous. Clear? And AC that is attract the person, where the DC that is repel the person when shock is happens because of DC. Clear? So in that term, AC is dangerous as compared to the DC. Clear? Now, second disadvantage that for the certain purpose or certain application like electric traction. In electric traction, we generally prefer the DC motor. Okay. In electronic circuit, as you know that all the electronic circuit we require the DC supply. Clear? In your computer, in your mobile, all the electronics circuit will require the DC supply. Clear? So in that case, AC we cannot use. Clear? So this is we can say the advantage of DC, or we can say the disadvantage of AC, where only DC is required. AC cannot be used directly. Clear? So for that we require the rectifier circuit to convert the AC into DC. Clear? So these are the disadvantage of using the AC over the disadvantage of AC over the DC. Understand all of you? Now, same way you can write the comparison between AC and DC. The same point as we discussed. The AC voltage and current, as we know that reverse periodically, where you can write in DC the direct voltage and current that is remain constant with respect to time. Second point, you can write in AC that low cost power generation, because AC generator is cheaper as compared to the DC generator. Exactly opposite point, you can write in DC higher cost of power generation, because cost of DC generator is high. Third point, the cost of transmitting the AC power can be reduced by using the step-up transformer. Clear? So why cost of transmitting the AC power that is reduced by using the step-up transformer? Because as you increase the voltage when you transmit the AC power, so current is reduces, so overall diameter of the conductor that will reduces, because the amount of current will reduces. Clear? So by this way you can reduce the cost of transmitting the AC power. Where in DC there is no such provision can be made, because you cannot step up and step down the DC. Fourth point, you can write AC can be converted into DC by using the converter that we call generally rectifier. Clear? I think all of you familiar with this word rectifier. I think all of you have also studied the diode based rectifier, half wave rectifier and full wave rectifier. Clear? So this rectifier which convert the AC into DC, wherein the DC that can be converted into AC, so that converter we call as an inverter. Clear? So this fourth comparison point you can write. Fifth, AC cannot be used directly for electroplating and electrotyping. It means where we require DC, you cannot directly use the AC. Fifth, DC can be used directly for such operation as we discussed that electric traction, mobile charger, computer, we directly use the DC. Sixth, AC motor and other appliances are more robust and durable as compared to the DC, but DC motor and appliances are less durable. Seventh point, AC attract the person, so faulty insulation of AC are more dangerous, as we have discussed in the disadvantage of AC. Then exactly opposite you can write DC gives a repelling shock to the person, so faulty insulation of DC is less dangerous as compared to the AC. Yeah? So when you write, when you ask the question in exam that write down the comparison between AC and DC, you can write all these points. Clear? Some of the points we already cover in the advantage and disadvantage of the AC. Clear? So I hope it is clear to you, this comparison between AC and DC. Now let's study some definition related to AC quantities. Okay. So first term or first definition, we understand waveform. What is called as a waveform? Anyone can give me the answer? What is called as a waveform? Yes, anyone?
So waveform is that value whose magnitude changes continuously with time and
Yes,
direction
very-
reverses periodically.
So how you draw the waveform?
So
Suppose that-
sinusoidally, or in case of alternating current, it is sinusoidally we can draw.
See, waveform is not only a sinusoid. It may be a square wave type, or waveform may be a triangular type. Here. So it doesn't mean that waveform is always a sine wave. As I already told you that alternating current. See, as I go for the previous slide, I have explained in that slide also that alternating current means not that only sine wave. But when we talking about the electrical circuit, we generally say that alternating current is sine wave. But actually the alternating current may be a different types. It may be a square wave, triangular, rectangular, and sine wave. Clear? So when you write the definition of general definition of the waveform, you cannot say that the waveform of sine wave only. Yeah, it may be a waveform of any wave shape, triangular or rectangular or square wave type. Yeah. So what is the general definition of waveform?
Graphical representation of wave.
Okay. Which wave, or what is the characteristic of wave? It is changing with respect to time? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
It means that at particular instant the value of waveform is some different. Another time instant the value of waveform is different. So if I write down the definition of general definition of waveform, so it is nothing but a shape of the curve which obtained by plotting the instantaneous value. Instantaneous value means the value at particular instant of time. If you draw or if you plot the waveform from the instantaneous value of any quantity, alternating quantity, along the y-axis and time or angle on the x-axis. So that is called as a waveform. So this is a general definition. As I again repeat, the shape of the curve obtained by plotting the instantaneous value of alternating quantity. Again I repeat, alternating quantity means not only a sine wave. It may be any wave shape. Along y-axis and time or angle is on the x-axis. So some of the waveform are changing with respect to time. So draw this wave shape at different time and show its magnitude in the y-axis and show the time in x-axis. Some of the waveforms are changing with angle. Clear? So represent angle in x-axis and represent the magnitude in the y-axis. So as you can see the different wave shape. First is a sine wave. You can see that is changing with respect to angle. At pi, at 0 angle its value is 0. At pi by 2 it is maximum. At pi it's 0. At 2 pi by 3 it is negative maximum, and 2 pi again 0. Clear? So this waveform is changing with respect to angle. Same way here the square wave, triangular wave, and trapezoidal wave. So all waveforms are changing. Its instantaneous values are changing with respect to angle. Same way you can also draw in terms of time also. Clear? So this is a definition of waveform. All of you clear this definition of waveform?
Yes.
Okay. Next definition is instantaneous value. I already give the answer of this instantaneous value. What is the definition? You can write.
Value
I
of
already
a
give.
particular instant.
Yes, yes. The value of alternating quantity at any instant of time, that is called the instantaneous value. Clear? Suppose I want to say that in a pure sine wave, what is the instantaneous value at angle pi by 2? So what is the instantaneous value at pi by 2? Suppose I draw the waveform and starting from omega t or angle 0. So what is the maximum value, or what is the value at pi by 2? As you know the wave shape of sine wave. Okay. So if I want to know that what is the value of alternating quantity or maybe a voltage or current at angle pi by 2?
1.
Yes?
One.
Not 1, it is.
Sir, at pi by 2.
It is maximum. Okay, it is maximum. Magnitude may be anything, but it is maximum. Clear? As you can see the wave shape of sine wave. Clear? Clear? So at pi by 2, the value of that quantity is maximum. Clear? Suppose the sine wave you draw like this, if value of EM is 200 volt, so at pi by 2 instant, you get the maximum value of that voltage or that alternating quantity. Clear? Suppose I want to know what is the instantaneous value at angle pi. So what is the value of this voltage becomes 0. Clear? So the value of alternating quantity at any instant, that is called the instantaneous value. And all the instantaneous value, it may be a voltage, current, power or energy, that is represented by the small English letter. That is small v, we represent the voltage, current is represented by small I, power is represented by small p, and energy, instantaneous energy at particular instant of time, that is represented by the small e. All of you understand?
Yes.
Definition, instantaneous value. Now next definition is cycle. So what is the definition of cycle in terms of AC, alternating quantity? If precisely I am saying that what is the definition of cycle when we are talking about the waveform of sine wave? Or you can say that any alternating quantity. Yes? What is called as a cycle? Or what is called as a cycle of waveform? You know the definition or you know what is called as a waveform. Okay. Now, what is the cycle of waveform? Or what is called as a one cycle of waveform? Any waveform, it may be a sine wave, it may be a triangle wave, it may be a square wave. Yes, anyone?
So the duration in which the waveform will repeat itself.
But what is the definition of one cycle? When I say that this waveform complete the one cycle, clear? So what happens in this one cycle? Based on that, you write the definition.
Average value of one complete cycle must be 0. Can tell?
No. Yeah, this is a characteristic you can write, but you cannot write in terms of definition this sentence. So one cycle, as you know that in any alternating quantity, what is the definition of, as we see that in the definition of waveform, clear? So the waveform is what? That is a shape of curve which is obtained by plotting the instantaneous value of alternating quantity along y-axis and time or angle along the x-axis. Clear? And we already see the definition of alternating current. Alternating current, so definition of the, what is the main characteristic? That changes magnitude as well as direction periodically. Clear? So some period of interval it is positive and some period of interval it is negative. So the definition of cycle is that when any waveform completes one cycle, it means that it completes one positive and one negative values of any alternating quantity, that is known as a cycle. If I am talking about the sine wave, so when I say that this sine wave has completed one cycle, so 0 to 180 degree, as you know that gets a positive, that gives a positive value, and after 180 to 360 that gives the negative value. So here combination of this positive waveform and negative we can call as a one cycle of this sine wave. Clear? Complete set of positive and negative values of alternating quantity. Clear? Same definition also applicable for the triangular wave or square wave or maybe for the rectangular waves. Clear all of you? Definition of cycle? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next definition is amplitude. What is called as amplitude?
The maximum displacement of the wave from ground or zero line.
Yes, yes. Amplitude is what the maximum value. It may be a positive value or negative value of alternating quantity. That is called as a amplitude. Clear? This is the definition. Next is the definition of time period. So what is the definition of time period of alternating quantity?
Time taken by an alternating current to complete one cycle.
Yes, yes, very good, very good. So time taken by any alternating quantity, it may be a sine wave, it may be a rectangular, it may be a triangular. So how much, whatever time is taken by this alternating quantity to complete one cycle. One cycle means one positive and one negative. Clear? So that time is called as a time period. Clear? And that is denoted by capital T, and generally we express in terms of second. Clear? Or in microsecond or millisecond. So next is, what is the relationship between the frequency and this time period or periodic time?
Time period equals to 1 upon
It's
frequency.
1 upon
1 by
Yes, both are inversely proportional to each other or reciprocal. Okay, T is equal to 1 by F. So once you know the time period of any wave shape or any alternating quantity, so you can easily find out the frequency of that alternating quantity. Clear? Suppose I am saying that the time period of sine wave is 20 millisecond. So what is the frequency of that wave shape?
1
Suppose
by
time period, yes,
1
what
by
is the
20.
value of 1 by 20? 1 by 20 millisecond. What is 1 by 20 millisecond? How much? Calculate. 1 by 20 millisecond.
0.05.
What 0.05?
1 by 20.
Not only 1 by 20. I am saying that 20 millisecond. Yeah, so 20 millisecond is what? 20 into 10 is to minus 3 second. Yes. Yes. So F is 50?
50.
Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So F
Yes.
is 50. What is the meaning of F50? Next definition. Frequency. When I say that my frequency is 50, clear? What it means? Next definition, frequency.
number of waves in 1 second.
Yes, number of cycles completed by any alternating quantity per second or in 1 second, that is known as a frequency. Clear? As I already told you that suppose any alternating quantity or any sine wave, suppose as time period t is equal to 20 millisecond, it means sine wave takes 20 millisecond to complete one cycle. Clear? So how many cycles happen in 1 second? So you can write like 1 second divided by 20 millisecond. So that gives a 50. So 50 frequency, it means that the number of cycles completed by any alternating quantity in 1 second or per second, that is known as a frequency, and it is generally denoted by F, and we measure in terms of hertz. Okay, or you can say that cycle per second. Clear all of you? Definition of frequency. Generally, we in a sine wave, frequency of alternating voltage or current, that is measured in any AC motor or in AC generator by using generally these equations, which is F is equal to P into N divided by 120, where P is number of poles of generator, N is the speed of the alternator in RPM, it means round per meter. Suppose you know the speed of the generator, suppose there is a 1500 RPM speed, revolution speed of generator. If you know the number of poles of generator or alternator, then you can easily calculate the value of the frequency. Yeah. Otherwise, if you know the time period of one cycle of your alternating quantity, then also you can get the frequency, because frequency is inversely proportional to time. Next definition is angular frequency. Yes, anyone can give me the answer? Definition of angular frequency. Yes, anyone? Angular frequency. What is called angular frequency? Yes, anyone?
So the vector which is imagined to rotate is called its angular frequency, which is denoted by omega also.
Yes, it is represented by omega. So it is nothing but a velocity, angular velocity of the coil. Clear? So the coil, suppose it is rotating with an angular velocity omega radian per second in a uniform magnetic field, and if one revolution of the coil happens, so what will happen? It means that angle is turned to 2 pi. One revolution means 2 pi radians, and when one revolution is happen of the coil, it means that you get the complete wave shape of voltage of one cycle. It means you get one positive half cycle as well as one negative half cycle. So one revolution, it means 2 pi radians that complete the one cycle of alternating quantity. The alternating quantity may be a voltage, maybe current, or maybe a power. So the time taken by this alternating quantity to complete the one cycle in a time period t of alternating voltage in terms of degree, that is called as angular frequency. So generally we write the equation of omega angular frequency is 2 pi into f. 2 pi into f, or you can write 2 pi divided by t, because f is inversely proportional to. So if you know the value of t, you can use this equation 2 pi by t. If you know the frequency, you can this equation 2 pi by f, 2 pi into f, to find out the angular velocity or angular frequency of the alternating quantity. Clear? Now next definition is phase. So phase is what? That is nothing but defined as a fractional part of the cycle through which alternating quantity has advanced from its original point. Clear? As you know that generally draw the waveform from the starting from the zero value. Clear? But maybe possible that some of the waveforms are starting from the maximum value also. Clear? And then after some time it becomes zero. Clear? So whatever the difference between the reference point means where your waveform starting from the zero magnitude and the point from which another waveform is started at the same time. Suppose another waveform is started at the maximum value, another waveform is started with the zero value. So what is the phase? That is nothing but a fractional part of the cycle through which alternating quantities advance from the origin or reference point. That is called as the phase. Same way, phase angle. So phase angle is what? It is nothing but a measurement of angle of any alternating quantity at particular instant of time. Suppose if you want to measure, suppose I am saying that my AC waveform or AC sine wave is one complete cycle completed in 20 millisecond. Clear? So at t is equal to 5 millisecond, what is the angle? Pi by 2, 90 degree. Clear? So at that point, what is the angle? 90 degree. So the phase angle at any instant of time, that is called as a phase angle. It is generally denoted by 2 pi by t. If you know the time period, you can find out the value of this angle. Clear? And it is measured in terms of electrical degree, not a mechanical degree. Electrical degree and mechanical degrees are different. Clear? Then another definition is phase difference. So what is called as a phase difference? So as we already studied the definition of phase, phase is the fractional part of a cycle through which alternating quantity has advanced from the origin. So suppose two phase or two alternating quantities, out of that one quantities start with the zero value and suppose another quantity start with the maximum value. So what is the phase difference between these two quantity at t is equal to 0? That is nothing but maximum minus minimum value. Clear? Whatever the value of one phase at 0 time, whatever the value of another phase or another quantity at t is equal to 0. So difference between these two phases, that is called the phase difference. So two alternating quantity of the same frequency. So that phase difference you always calculate for the two alternating quantities which have the same frequency. You cannot calculate phase difference for two different frequency quantity. Suppose one waveform is operated, one waveform has frequency of 50 Hz, another waveform has frequency of 60 Hz, then you cannot calculate the phase difference between these two quantities. As per the definition of phase difference, you measure the phase difference only and only of the two alternating quantity which has the same frequency. So suppose two alternating quantity has 50 Hz frequency, then and there you can calculate the phase difference. So definition is that two alternating quantity of the same frequency have different 0 point. 0 point means reference point. As I told you that one quantity has a reference point which is starting from 0 magnitude, another quantity which has a reference point which is starting from the maximum magnitude. So whatever the difference between these two, that is called as a phase difference. Called as a phase difference. So if I am showing you the graphically, you can see here the waveform. This left hand side, you have two curves or two sine waves. One sine wave, here I give the name curve A, and another curve I give the name curve B. Both the curve has the same frequency. So how can I identify that both have same frequency? So you can see that both are starting from the 0 at the same time. Both are reaching to the maximum value at the same time. Again, both are reached to the 0 at the same time. So it means that both this curve or both this sine wave has the same frequency. Clear? So two alternating quantities are called in phase when both get the maximum value or 0 value at the same instant of time. That is called as the in phase quantities. Clear? So in phase quantity phase difference you can calculate directly by subtraction or addition. Clear? But for the out of phase quantities, suppose here you can see that two alternating quantities, one quantities start from the positive and one quantity start from the negative waveform. Yes, both are starting from the 0, but one quantity becomes positive maximum, at the same time second quantity becomes negative maximum. So we can say that both are out of phase. But how much degree? Exactly 180 degree. It means exactly opposite. One cycle, or sorry, one waveform have positive, at the same time another wave shape has a complete negative cycles. Same way in the next half period. One wave shape has complete positive, another has completely negative. So this type of waveform is called as a out of phase alternating quantity. And how much degree it is out of phase? So that is 180 degree. Clear? So this is the example of out of phase alternating quantity, and this is the example of in phase alternating quantities. I hope you understand what is in phase and out of phase. Clear all of you? This one? Is there any doubt now? Yes, anyone? Is there any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir.
Now next topic is how to derive the equation of alternating voltage. As you know that equation of alternating voltage V is equal to Vm sin theta or Vm sin omega t. All of you familiar with this equation? बताने ख्याल से V is equal to Vm sin theta for AC for sine wave. Yes or no? All of you familiar
Yes.
with this equation? Vm sin theta.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So how you derive this equation mathematically? So let's start this derivation. So consider that there is a one rectangular coil. You can see here in this figure. This coil has suppose n number of turns and that is rotating in anti-clockwise direction with angular velocity omega radian per second in a uniform magnetic field. You can see that these lines with the direction that represent the direction of magnetic field, and this is uniform. So suppose this rectangular coil having n turns and rotating in anti-clockwise direction in this magnetic field. So how much EMF is induced in this coil? How much sinusoidal EMF is induced in this coil? So that is derived here by mathematical equation. So let's suppose assume that the time be measured from the instant where the plane of the coil is coincide with the OS axis, and in this position of the coil, suppose your coil here you can see that at suppose angle at theta, but suppose this coil is in parallel with this axis x-axis, so at that time flux linkage with the coil is maximum. Clear? Suppose this coil, this rectangular coil is horizontal, or you can say that along this x-axis, so that coil will cut the maximum amount of flux. It means maximum rate of change of flux linkage happens. Clear? So because of that, what will happen? Maximum EMF is induced in this case. Clear? So that's why you can see that here flux linkage with the coil is maximum. It means phi max when coil is coincide with the OS axis. Let's assume that coil turns at angle theta in anti-clockwise direction in t second, and assume the position as shown in this figure here. You can see that here now coil is rotating from the OX axis and reach at angle theta. Now in this position, the maximum flux phi max that acting vertically downward direction. Vertically downward direction, and that can be resolved into two components. One is sine component and another is a cosine component. So suppose this is a reference axis of this rectangular coil. So vertical component, this one that we call as a phi max cos omega t, and this horizontal component that is called as a phi max sin omega t. Here omega t is nothing but this angle theta with respect to x-axis. Clear? So with this angle theta, if I want to write down the equation of induced EMF, so how can I write this? So first of all, as I already told you that one component is phi max sin omega t that is in parallel to the plane of coil. You can see that in this figure, this phi max sin omega t that is in parallel with this plane of the coil, where phi max cos omega t that is in perpendicular to the plane of the coil. Yeah. Is it perpendicular to the plane of the coil? Now, how much amount of flux linkage is when this coil at angle theta? So this equation is that number of turns of the coil into flux linkages. Where maximum flux linkages happens? When it is flux, it is plane of the coil is exactly perpendicular to the plane of the flux lines. Clear? So that's why we here consider the component of this phi max cos omega t, which is perpendicular to the plane of the coil. So maximum flux that is coincide with this coil is phi max cos omega t into number of turns of the coil. Suppose n number of turns with this coil. So flux linkages, total flux linkages with this coil at the instant or at the angle theta, that is equal to n phi max into cos omega t. N is number of turns of the coil and phi max cos omega t is the maximum possible flux links with the conductor. It means phi max cos omega t. So as we know that according to the Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction, EMF induced in the coil, that is equal to what? Rate of change of flux linkage of the coil. We know that N d phi by dt. Clear? So same equation here we use. Here we measure the instantaneous value of voltage. So that's why we represent the voltage by small v. Clear? So V is equal to d phi by dt. How much flux linkage? So that is N phi max into cos omega t. So if you take the differentiation of this, here number of turns that is remain constant. So that is come out from this differentiation. Phi max, this is also constant. So make the derivation of this cos omega t with respect to time. So cos omega t differentiation with respect to time, that is what? Minus sine omega t into omega, because here we take the differentiation with respect to time, not with respect to omega t. So cos omega t differentiation with respect to time, that is what? Minus sine omega t into omega. So you can see that this get the value minus n phi max into omega into minus sine omega t. So minus minus plus. So finally you get the equation of induced EMF is n phi max into omega into sine omega t. Clear? And what is the maximum value of induced voltage when it is happens? When this V become maximum, when your sine omega t becomes 1. And when your sine omega t become 1, when your omega t or angle is becomes 90 degree. Clear? So that omega t is equal to 90 degree, you get the maximum voltage, and that maximum voltage is what? Vm is equal to what? N into phi max into omega, because sine omega t is 1 at angle 90 degree. So if you replace this n phi max omega in this equation by Vm, because this is the maximum value of voltage. So if you replace this by Vmax, so final equation of induced voltage at angle theta, that becomes V is equal to, small v is equal to capital Vm into sine omega t. Here we replace this n phi max into omega by Vm. Or you can replace omega t, that is what? Angle by the theta also. So another way you can also write V is equal to Vm sine theta. I hope it is clear to all and understand that how to get the equation of alternating voltage or induced EMF. All of you clear this? Derivation of alternating voltage in the coil? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. So have you need a 5-minute break, or I will continue for this lecture? Break જોઈએ છે તમારે, or I continue this lecture?
So today we have a physics lab exam at 3 o'clock.
Yes, yes, yes. I will complete before that. No problem.
Yes, sir.
So I continue, or you need 5-minute break? If you not require, then I will continue for the next topic. Yes or no? I will complete in half hours. Okay.
Yes, sir. Continue.
Okay. So let's start the next topic. All of you understand this derivation? Is there any doubt up to this lecture? कोई doubt है कहीं पूछूं जे? So same way as we derive the equation of induced voltage, alternating voltage, same way you can write the equation of alternating current also. So what that equation becomes? If I want to write down equation of alternating current. So what is the equation of
Im sin theta?
Yes, very good. So alternating current equation that becomes I is equal to Im sine omega t. But that equation is only applicable when your load is resistive. Clear? For inductor or capacitor, this equation is not applicable, because as we know that the relationship between voltage and current in case of inductor and capacitor. So as you see, the induced EMF is sinusoidal. So instantaneous value of EMF, because that is varied with respect to time or angle, and your coil is rotating with the angular constant velocity in anti-clockwise direction, so that generate the sinusoidal alternating value of EMF. So if this alternating voltage is applied to any load, suppose it is resistive load, so alternating current flow in this circuit, that is also sinusoidal or a sine wave. So you can represent that by this equation, I is equal to Im sin omega t. Here Im is what? Im is nothing but Vm divided by R. Suppose R is the resistance of this load circuit, or R is the resistive value of the load. So Im is nothing but Vm divided by R. Yes, that is replaced by Im here. So yes, this is we already discussed that how the AC waveform is changing with respect to angle. Clear? If you starting from the 0 reference point, so at omega t is equal to 0 or angle theta is equal to 0, the value of sine wave is 0. As you increase the angle from 0 to 90 degree, the value of sine wave that is increases, and at 90 degree it becomes maximum, and 90 to 180 it is decreases, and from 180 to 270 again it is increases, but in the opposite direction or negative value, and at 270 it becomes negative maximum. From 270 to 360 again it decreases and reach to the 0 value. So that we call as a 2 pi angle. Now again it is repeated. Start from the 0, maximum 0, negative maximum 0. Yeah, so this is repeated at regular interval of time. This regular interval of time, that is decided by your frequency of the wave shape. If your frequency of the wave shape is 50 Hz, it means that your wave shape requires 20 milliseconds to complete one cycle. It means your sine wave requires 360 degree or 2 pi degree to complete the one cycle, that is 20 milliseconds. Half cycle requires 10 milliseconds, and quarter cycle that requires 5 milliseconds. Yeah. So the time period in which your wave shape complete one cycle, that is decided by the frequency. As the frequency high, the wave shape requires less time to complete the one cycle, vice versa. Clear? Let's calculate the example related to these AC quantities. Write down all of you. A square coil of 10 centimeter side with 100 turns is rotated at a uniform speed of 500 rpm about axis at right angle to a uniform field of 0.5 Tesla. Here magnetic field density is given 0.5 Tesla. Calculate the maximum EMF produced in the coil. Second, what is the instantaneous value of EMF when plane of coil makes an angle theta with the magnetic field? So here you find out the induced EMF. We already derived the equation of instantaneous value of induced EMF in the previous slide. V is equal to Vm sin omega t or Vm sin theta. Clear? Same equation you can apply here and find out first the maximum EMF produced in the coil. And second, find out the instantaneous value of EMF when the plane of the coil that makes angle theta with the magnetic field lines. All of you calculate and give me the answer of this first maximum maximum EMF produced in the coil. Maximum EMF is what? Capital Vm. What is the equation of maximum induced EMF? If you see this previous slide here in the derivation of induced EMF, Vm is what? N into 5x into omega. Clear? N is what? Number of turns. Here it is given number of turns. How much? How much
100.
turns? 100 turns is given. Okay, 5x is given. 5x is given or not?
Sir, we have to write phi as B into A, I think.
Yes, replace the 5x by B into A. Flux density into area. Flux density is given 0.5 Tesla. Area is also given because here is square coil. One side of the coil, the length is given 10 centimeter. So the square coil area is what? 10 into 10 centimeter. So if you write down in meter, so it is 10 raised to minus 2 meter square. Clear? So 5x replaced by B into A and omega. Omega is what? 2 pi into F. As you know the angular velocity, you can represent it in terms of frequency. That is 2 pi into F. So what is the frequency here? How you calculate frequency?
So which screen are you sharing right now?
Yes, I'm not sharing the answer right now. I've just asked you. You calculate by yourself how to find out the frequency. See, frequency is what? The number of cycles completed by any waveform in 1 second. Yes or no? That is called as a frequency. But here the speed of this coil is given in terms of RPM. RPM means what? Round per minute. It means this coil rotated 500 times in 1 minute. Clear? So how many rounds it is rotated in 1 second? If this coil rotate 500 round in 1 minute, so how many round it rotate in 1 second? 500 divided by 60? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So this 500 divided by 60, that becomes what? That is your frequency? Yes or no? That is the number of round completed in 1 second. Yes or no? If your coil rotate 500 RPM, so it will rotate 500 divided by 60 times in 1 second. So it means that in 1 second it will rotate by 500 divided by 60 round. Clear? So it means the frequency of this wave shape, that is 500 divided by 60. Yes or no? So calculate
Yes.
omega by the equation 2 pi into F. Let's see here. I give the answer here. You can see the answer of Vm and 5x into omega. 5x is replaced by B into A. B is given 0.5 Tesla. N is given 100 turns. A you find out because one side of this square coil is given 10 centimeter. So area in meter square, that is 10 raised to minus 2. Omega, that is nothing but 2 pi into F. F is nothing but 500 rounds per minute divided by 60 second. So you get the round in per second. So you get omega is 50 pi divided by 3. Unit of omega is radian per second. So if you put all this value in this equation of Vm, you get the answer maximum voltage or maximum EMF is 26.18 volt. All of you get this answer? Yes or no? All of you get this answer? Calculate.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, second asked that find out the instantaneous value of EMF when plane of the coil that makes angle theta with the magnetic with angle 30 degree with the magnetic field. Clear? Here in the equation of V is equal to Vm sine theta, this theta is what? That is the angle between normal of the coil and field. But here which angle is given? Is the angle between plane of the coil and magnetic field, that is 30 degree. So angle between the normal to the coil and field is what? 90 minus 30. So it means theta is become 60 degree. Clear? So if you put this angle theta 60 degree in the equation of V is equal to Vm sine theta, so you get the value of the instantaneous EMF. So get the answer 26.80, which you already calculate, maximum EMF into sine 60. So you get the answer 22.6 volt. All of you understand this? Second answer, how to get this 22.6 volt? Again repeated, which angle is given? The angle between plane of the coil and magnetic field, that is 30. But which angle we require? Theta is nothing but the angle between normal of the coil and magnetic field. So that angle is what? 90 degree minus angle between the plane of the coil and magnetic field, that is given 30 degrees. So you get theta is 60 degree, put directly in the equation of Vm sine theta. So you get the answer 22.6 volt. All of you clear with this example? Is there any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay. So let's move for the next topic, average value and mean value. So how to find out the average value, or we can say the mean value of the AC quantity, or we can say this sine wave. So the definition of average value or mean value is that steady current means DC current when we flow through any circuit for a given time, and if the same time transfer whatever amount of charge which is transferred by this direct current, if same amount of charge that is transferred by the alternating current when it is flowing through the same circuit for the same period of time, so that is called as the average value of that alternating quantity. So if you understand graphically, suppose this is a DC circuit, there is a resistance. Here we have AC source with the same circuit, it means we have same value of resistance. So whatever amount of charge that is supplied by this DC source to this resistance, if the same amount of charge that is provided by this AC source to this resistance for the same time period, so that AC quantity or alternating quantity, that is called as an average value of the alternating quantity. Clear? All of you? Definition of average value or mean value. Whenever say that average or mean value of any alternating quantity, it means that alternating quantity's average value provide the same amount of charge for the same time period which is provided by the DC quantity for the same period of time in the same circuit. Clear? All of you? Definition of average or mean value. Anyone? Is there a doubt? Yes or no? બધા જાગો છો ને, સુઈ નથી ગયા ને? All of you, give me the answer, yes or no? All of you can hear my voice?
Yes, sir. Yes, yes.
Okay, okay. જાગો છો ને બધા?
Yes.
Give me the answer, yes or no? What I say there?
Yes, sir.
Understand this definition, average or mean value? See, તમને એવું લાગે કે કંટાળો આવે છે કે વધારે ઓવર થઈ ગયું છે તો મને કહી દેજો, હું સ્ટોપ થઈ જઈશ. ક્લિયર? એ ફોર્સફુલી મારે લેક્ચર નથી લેવો. ઓકે, I not want to complete the syllabus in all this 2 lecture. Okay, I not want to do this. If you are interested, then I will take the lecture. Otherwise, there is no need of doing this lecture. If you have more, then I will stop right now. Both થાવ છો બધા? Yes or no? Then I will stop this lecture. Then there is no meaning of conducting this lecture if you are not interested in this. Please give me the answer. Yes or no? Yes? ભાઈ બધાને સંભળાય છે હું શું કહું છું?
Yes, sir.
So I continue the lecture or not? કે મને એવું લાગે છે કોઈ આન્સર નથી આપતું અથવા બોર થાય છે. ઘણા સ્ટુડન્ટ છે ચાલુ કરીને જતા રહી પણ રહ્યા હોય. I don't know whatever the reason. If you are not interested, then I will stop the lecture. Please tell me.
सर वो आज एग्जाम है ना 4 बजे, इसीलिए वो प्रिपरेशन के लिए.
So this is not a time for prepare the exam. Okay, તમને ક્યારે કીધું તું એક્ઝામ છે? આજે તો નથી કીધું ને એક્ઝામ છે એવું.
આજે ખબર
સર આજે જ કીધું એટલે તો.
આજે જ કીધું સર.
So I think the faculty take the surprise test for you.
ના સર બાકી બેચેસ
પ્રોબ્લેમ હતો સર.
અમને જ એકલા નતું કીધું.
So told me in advance that if you want to need the preparation, though I will not conduct the lecture. Okay, if I am speaking here and you are not give the attention in this lecture, then there is no meaning of this lecture. Okay, this is a waste of time for you also me. Clear? તમે મારો time waste કરો છો. So please, truly speaking, that we are not interested right now. Okay, so I will conduct this lecture in the next lecture, next session. So I stop here. If you need the preparation for your stage, so I will conduct this topic in the next lecture.
Yes.
Please. Okay. So all of you can leave this lecture.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.